Hello everyone. Today we are going to watch a game which was played in 1959 between Gosta Stoltz and Mikhail Tal. Mikhail Tal was playing with white and this game was played in Sicilian Defense. So let's see how Mikhail Tal approached it. So the game started with e4 and Gosta Stoltz replied with c5, the Sicilian Defense, and after knight f3, knight c6, Mikhail Tal went for the open Sicilian. After pawn takes pawn, knight takes pawn, Gosta Stoltz goes for knight f6, and after knight c3, he played d6. And Mikhail Tal responded with bishop g5, and his opponent went for e6. Mikhail Tal delayed his bishop, maybe because it was instantly being attacked by d5, and after pawn takes pawn, the bishop will still be attacked. So he delayed his development of the bishop and played queen d2, and his opponent went for bishop e7, and Mikhail Tal goes for long castle. His opponent went for short castle, and then Mikhail Tal played knight b3. Usually, I like to play with the f3. The reason for this is once this bishop is attacked, if we go back and again attacked, and we go to, let's say, g6, this after e5, this bishop will be ineffective. And we can also see that if we retreat the bishop back to e3, then after knight g4, this bishop will be gone because it doesn't have any place to go further. So because of this reason, I usually like to play e3, but Mikhail Tal went for knight b3, which is actually the best move, and that is also one of the reasons that why I chose this particular game, because it usually goes against the normal development move that we like. I mean to say, player like me who are below 1500 like to play. So after knight b3, his opponent went for queen b6, and now Mikhail Tal played f3, and after a6, he played g4, starting to expand on the queen side. His opponent went for rook d8, lining the rook against the queen, and now he brought back his bishop, winning a tempo by attacking the black queen. His opponent played queen c7, and after that he further expanded on the king side. His opponent started his own expansion by taking space on the queen side with b5, and now his opponent played g5, attacking the knight. So his opponent went for knight e7. Usually, when I play, I do not push this pawn. So this is one more move to analyze further and understand that why knight d7 is better, and why g5 is better than pushing h5. The reason is that basically why I like to play h5 is the reason that my opponent can plant his knight to h5 and later on come to g6, blocking the bishop and the rook. I will be losing my bishop, which is why I usually do not play this. But after analyzing, I found that after queen f2, this knight becomes very ineffective. We can exchange of this knight with our bishop, damaging its pawn structure, because in order to defend this knight, black will have to play g6. So in that case, we can exchange of the bishop with the knight, and we will be beneficial. And in case the opponent wants to keep the pawn structure intact and want to play, activate his knight, again he will have to play g6, and after that knight will go to g7, and from there to e8, and then also black will have to struggle. So it will take at least 3 to 4 moves for making this knight active again. So in this position, the right move was actually knight e7, and his opponent played knight e7. Mikhail Tal went ahead and played g6, and his opponent went for knight c5. The idea was to exchange of these two knights so that this line can be opened for the attack, so that later on the rook will also join. Mikhail Tal went ahead and captured the pawn, and after king takes pawn, he played bishop h3. He finally developed his light square bishop. You can see that this pawn is undefended, but when if his opponent went for bishop takes pawn, then after bishop takes pawn with check, this bishop is also gone. So let's say bishop takes bishop, we take the bishop with the rook, and after bishop takes knight, we take the bishop with the pawn, and you can see that this structure is still very safe. If the opponent try to push the pawn, we will be able to capture this pawn attacking the queen, and opponent will have to play rook b8 in order to push this pawn but it will take a lot of time. And meanwhile, since this king side area is pretty much open, white will be able to launch its attack right away with queen d5. His opponent went for knight b4, attacking this, pressurizing this pawn. One way to counter this is to push this pawn, but Mikhail Tal did not want it to do this, maybe because of the pawn push. In which case we will have to take with this particular pawn, and this move will not be very much safe, as this pawn will be isolated and will be vulnerable throughout the game. So what Mikhail Tal did is he played f4, and his opponent went with his own idea to capture the pawn on a2, but currently this knight is guarding that, so he played knight a4 to exchange this knight. Mikhail Tal did not care about it, and he played f5, and now his opponent went e5, disregarding this this exchange. But now we see that this space is clear. Currently, obviously, the knight is guarding it. So let's see what happens. His opponent, Mikhail Tal, exchange of first of all exchange this knight, knight a2 check. Mikhail Tal played king b1, and after pawn takes knight, he played knight to a5, saving this knight, and we are again attacking this knight. This knight is not going anywhere, which is why his opponent his opponent played rook b8, and now he has made one space for this knight. So he actually went for queen d5 first, check. So his king went to f8, and then he captured his this knight, and his opponent captured the pawn on c2. Mikhail Tal attacked the queen, but his opponent took another pawn on b2, giving a check to the king. Now, the king has two places to go, a3 and a1. If we go a1, it is mate in 2. Can you find the move? If you can, please comment. So, Mikhail Tal went for king a1, and now the queen is attacked, so he saved his queen by going c3, threatening a discovery. But Mikhail Tal went for rook d3. And now, obviously, if the king moves, then the rook will hang. So his opponent decided to sack the queen in exchange of two pieces. So how we do it? He played rook h2 check, giving a discover check. Mikhail Tal captured the queen, and then after his opponent captured the pawn, captured the rook on h1, and after king a2, he captured another bishop. And now this this bishop is under attack, which is currently defended by the rook. But Mikhail Tal went ahead and sacked this rook. So after rook takes bishop, Mikhail Tal played a very brilliant move, knight c6, and now you see it forks rook and the bishop, and the position is very sad for black, and his opponent resigned right at this moment. So you see, when Mikhail Tal's opponent sacked the queen, they actually resigned. The game can be further expanded by, let's say, rook e2, but the king will slowly come forward, and after this the rook will have to find some sort of shelter, and we can win this rook. Or if, let's say, rook goes to support the bishop, then we can win this bishop, and after rook takes knight, we will win this bishop, and we are also up with the queen, so the game is right in the hand of the white. So if you like this game, please let me know, and specifically let me know that what actually you learned from this game. I learned a lot of things. Specifically playing g5 instead of h5, and also delaying the move f3 and playing knight b3 instead. So this was my learning. What was yours? Please let me know.